Path to Power Kid Goku is coming, but should you summon? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. We have official confirmation from both the in-game news and the Twitter reveals that Path to Power Kid Goku is coming, and he is coming soon. So we're going to take some time and answer everybody's favorite question. Should you summon for the upcoming Dokkan Fest? As always, to determine that answer, we have to take a look at several different factors. Number one, the unit himself. Number two, the rest of the banner. And number three, what lies ahead, because all of those things are things you need to take into consideration when deciding where to spend your stones, especially knowing that at this point you should be saving for the 8-year anniversary. So let's go ahead, let's kick things off. Let's take a look at the unit himself. We have the Quest for the Dragon Ball's Goku Youth. He is a DB Saga Youth or Exploding Rage, category Key 3, HP Attack Defense 170. He also gives an additional attack and defense for 30% for characters who are on Dragon Ball Seekers or Bond of Friendship. So not the craziest leader skill. It does give most of DB Saga a 200% lead, which is nice. It'll make quite a few of the units somewhat runnable. Youth and Exploding Rage does cover quite a few characters, to include LR Birdku, for example, and the LR AGL Gohan, who just got his EZA on JP and is going to be getting it soon on Global. So does cover quite a few major characters. On his super attack, he is greatly raising attack for 1 turn, causing immense damage to the enemy. On his, he does have a unit super that can be activated so long as you have a Yamcha, Masaroshi, Oolong, Bulma, or Bulma Bunny attacking in the same turn, and that unit super attack will massively raise attack for 1 turn while lowering the enemy's attack. He has another unit super that massively raises attack for 1 turn and causes the same amount of damage and lowers attack. And this one can be activated when you have a Hachan attacking in the same turn. Not Berserk, just the regular Hachan, which basically means the banner unit that comes with him. Realistically, you'll be seeing a lot of the super attacks, but more than likely it'll be the one with the Hachan. Not many of the characters that are needed to activate the Dragon Team Assemble unit super attack are all that great. The nice thing is the Yamcha can be any Yamcha, so the Dokkan Fest Yamcha, when he released, actually can activate it. So very, very interesting. There's not much difference to them though, it's simply aesthetic, so doesn't really matter which one you go for, but either one is massively raising your attack over your regular super, so you would want to prioritize it if possible. But that's not what we're here for. Let's take a look at his passive. His passive is attack and defense 159% with an additional 59% when performing a super attack. He gives DB Saga or Youth category allies Key 2 and attack defense 50%. He randomly changes 1 key sphere of a certain type to Rainbow, plus an additional attack defense 20% per key sphere obtained. He has a chance of performing a critical hit and reducing damage received 7% per rainbow key sphere obtained. So that's kind of like the LRG Force effect, right? He has an additional defense 59% with 3 or more key spheres obtained, and he launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack with 5 or more key spheres obtained. He gives all allies chance of performing a critical hit 8%, and all allies damage received by 8% reduction with 7 or more key spheres obtained. So this guy is actually an insane support unit. Now, the specific category support is only for certain characters, but it does cover some major characters like that LR AGL Gohan when he finally EZAs. Realistically, the best place to run this guy is probably on a Movie Heroes team with that Gohan and a few other characters, because he is on Kamehameha, so you would want to run him under the LR Gods. And that makes him really, really good for that team, simply because of the Rainbow key sphere changing. So now if you've got God Goku as well, you've got 2 good Rainbow Orb changers that are helping out the team. You're reducing damage for the entire team, getting that 7 key, which is fairly easy to do with a Rainbow Orb Changer, and you're also giving everybody the ability to crit. So really, really insane support passive, not just on the stat buff, and I think this makes him an insanely powerful unit. But he does come with some baggage, right? And that baggage is his banner. So I would say the unit himself carries the banner. He is just that good. And if there was any TUR to summon for between now and the 8th anniversary, it would be this guy, right? More so than Bardock, more so than Yamcha, more so than whatever Saiyan Day brings us, or the April-May Dokkan Fest, whatever those end up being. As of right now, this guy is top 3 TUR in the game, and is definitely worth a summon for you. But if you got a bunch of coins stockpiled, I don't see why you should. You could just wait it out until he shows up again. Something to consider. So again, that's one in the category for summoning for the unit, as I do believe he carries the banner. The problem is the rest of that banner is kind of trash, right? We are looking at the return with Fizz Raditz, we are looking at STR Bojack, STR Videl, Fizz Beerus, and AGL Turles, along with the banner unit Hachan. Now, Hachan is actually really, really good. He provides... he has his own damage reduction, making him an insane tank. You combine that with the damage reduction that the Goku Youth gives, plus he's basically got 58% damage reduction, which is huge, right? That's going to allow him to tank even things like Cell Max. So really, really good card. I mean, I'd almost say you would want to summon for this guy more so for the Goku, right? Because Goku will return on a banner that you can buy with coins. This guy won't. You gotta hope and pray you pick this guy up if you don't pick him up here, right? So he's really, really good, and about the only redeeming quality to the banner itself. Now, I should say, in the past, we've had them swap out a few of the Dokkan Fests for February. Like last year, they added GT Goku to the Tech Androids banner to kind of entice people to summon, right? At that point, GT Goku was still pretty darn good. So I could see them adding a unit here, maybe get rid of Videl or Bojack, maybe even Beerus, although they like to keep some of the really, really bad older units on here, so maybe they'll stay. But if they did swap anyone in, I'd like to see them swap in the Gammas. Really, really entice people to summoning, especially since they were missing on the superhero banners, but I don't think they'll do that. I think that's a little bit too much wishful thinking. And realistically, there isn't much else they could throw on here that would be really, really enticeful for people to summon. It TUR-rise, right? So the banner, I would say, no, the banner is a no-go given all of that, even if they do swap somebody out. As we went over in one of our last videos, you should be saving for the 8th anniversary at this point. So the banner is just not worth your stones, because any summon you do to pick up one of these guys in your multi is one less summon you are doing at the 8th anniversary. Now, speaking of 8th anniversary, the final category we need to look at before we give our final recommendation is everything that's to come. First and foremost, this Dokkan Fest will only be part 1 for the month of February, meaning we have another banner somewhere in the middle of the month. Now, I went over in my last video that I believe that banner is the STR Carnival Goku. So, Carnival banners, as of right now, we don't know how often they're going to come around. This one came to a surprise, right? We assumed that the Double Rates banner for the year would be similar, and it wouldn't introduce a new character, or at least a new specific Carnival LR. Like, this would just be a Double Rates banner for, like the Zamasu did on Global, like just a yellow coin LR. But this Goku is actually considered a Carnival exclusive. So, who knows when he'll show up again? I would say, being that he is a Carnival and being that most people are hurting for these coins because they're still new, this might be something better worth your summon if you really need them, especially if you're struggling with like the Battle of Wits mission. This banner also has the STR Piccolo, which makes this a really good pickup as well. So something to consider that this banner is coming forward. So if you summon on Kid Goku, you may not necessarily be able to summon here on this double rates banner. Following him, though, we are likely, as I said, to see the Tech Bardock banner or the Int Yamcha banner. And like the Kid Goku banner, neither one of these banners are all that great. I mean, the Bardock does give the Majin Vegeta return and the Broly return, who are both still pretty good, but you know, it's worth noting that they are coming. Realistically, they will slot in between the beginning of March and the 18th, where on the 18th, if I can find it here, we should get whatever the Saiyan Day banner is. This banner is usually dropping around the 18th, and it will sort of be Global's first introduction to whatever the 8th anniversary mechanic is. So last year it gave us access to the 200% leader skill and an intro animation. So this year we should likely see some kind of standby skill on whatever this character ends up being, right? So it's worth considering. I can't make any personal recommendations because we don't know what it is, but it is worth considering that this could come up and it could be better than the Kid Goku. Following that, whoever we didn't get in the beginning of March, right? If it was Bardock, we'll get Yamcha. If it was Yamcha, we'll get Bardock. However it ends up working out, right? For the month of April. Now, the thing is, April is usually the January time, the January Dokkan Fest, the New Year's Dokkan Fest for JP for us. Now, since we shared New Year's this year, we have no idea what's going to happen after Yamcha, and I doubt, or Bardock, whoever it ends up being, and I doubt either one of them can carry an entire month by themselves. So we'll likely see some kind of part 2 going in that time, whether it's another superhero campaign, some kind of global first, global exclusive deal, something else is going to happen following this banner. So stones you spend here on the Kid Goku, while the Kid Goku is good, may be something you're missing out on later on. And then finally, that brings us to where people are concerned the most. And let's see if I can pull it up here. Here it is, the 8th anniversary banners. I'm not going to cover Golden Week because we, like with Saiyan Day, we have no idea what Golden Week could be. You might want to save for it, but if last year's unit were any indicator, they're going to show up quite a lot, more so than the Saiyan Day units. It's the only reason I bring up the Saiyan Day units, because they tend not to come back that often. But if you summon on Kid Goku, know that these are stones you are spending that could be wasted for some of the best banners in Dokkan history, right? So keep that in mind, that the 8th anniversary banners are really good. They return the Gammas. They have the new LRs, who are insanely powerful. If you checked out my Shaft showcase, you know that how good they could be even on a non-leader, on their not own leader skill, right? It also returns the Cooler, the LR Gods, and previous Dokkan Fest LRs. But these are the big 5 here. Those guys are actually pretty good. They're not the worst banner unit ever. They're actually kind of fun to use. But like I said, this is the big 5 right here. On the other banner, it's the same deal. Where is it? Here. The big 5 right here. The Gamma 2, the AGL Super Saiyans, the Super Saiyan 4s, and the new GT Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. These are the banners you should be summoning on. These are what you should be saving your stones for. That's what we talked about in the last video, and it's really, really important that if you want these guys, you know how much it took me on my JP account. I would avoid as best I can to future banners. So I'm going to say that while the unit is good and I think you could summon for him, you should more than likely save your stones for what's to come. So realistically, this one is kind of hard to give a positive recommendation for. So what I'll do is, as I always do, give a tiered recommendation, because there are a couple other things that are worth noting, right? If I can find... we did get the data download the other day. I thought I had it up, but I guess I didn't. We got the data download earlier today, and it did reveal that there will be tickets for this banner. So if you're pay-to-play, play, you can pick up some tickets and use those instead of your stones. There will also likely be some kind of discounted steps on this, as there is always year. The androids, I believe, had it last year, and the Int Gogeta the year prior. Where is it? Not that one. Here it is. The Int Gogeta the year prior had it as well. So worth considering that it's possible there could be a step up with a guaranteed feature at the end. If that's the case, then it's definitely worth a rotation or two, but otherwise I would steer away from the banner unless you have over, I would say, I'm going to up the ante. If you're over 1,200 stones, then throw about 200 to 250 on this banner and then save. If you're anywhere between 5 and 800, I wouldn't do any more than the steps if they have them, right? If you're anything below 500, I would say don't summon on this banner. Save your stones. Remember, we've got about 300 stones coming in this celebration, and realistically, if you had 500 right now and you saved from now until the anniversary, you're talking 2,000 stones for those anniversary banners. So my recommendation, as I said, 500 or less, steer clear of the banner. Anywhere between 5 and 8, do your discounted steps and then move on. If you're greater than 1,000, upwards of 1,200, I would say do maybe 200, 250, but otherwise I would just wait till Goku returns with coins. That's going to be my best recommendation, given everything we know that is likely to happen with this banner. So, anyways, guys, that's the video. I know it was kind of long-winded, but there was a lot we had to make sure we took into consideration for this character. So hopefully you found the recommendation helpful, and if you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know, do you agree with my recommendation? Do you disagree with my recommendation? Do you plan on summoning for Dokkan Festival Fizz Kid Goku from the Path to Power movie? Would love to hear what you guys think in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.